Namaskar. Welcome to this session. We have been considering the classical Sankhya, which comes in Bhagwad Gita and Upanishads, and we were about to commence to understand the concept of Adhibhoutik, Adidaivik, Adhyatmika, which is core aspect of the philosophy, religion, culture given by Vedas and Vedic Dharma. So, we also considered the Ashtadha Prakriti that is getting mentioned in Bhagwad Gita in the 7th chapter. Many Vedantis say that Bhagwad Gita is speaking about Ashtadha Prakriti, which is different than your 24 principles of Prakriti. But then, Bhagavad Gita itself endorses with the 24 principles in the 13th chapter, the 5th verse. Mahabhutani ahankara buddhim avyaktam evacha indriyani dasha ekam cha pancha cha indriya gocharaha. So this clearly mentions the 24 principles. Mahabhutas, sthula sukshma, ahankara buddhi avyaktam, then dashendriyani and the ekadasha indriya damanas, the panchacha indriya gocharaha, the pancha vishayas, pancha tattvas, pancha mahabhutas, pancha tanmatras, mahat buddhi ahankar, all these concepts of Sankhya have been contained in this verse of Bhagavad Gita in the 13th chapter, 5th verse. So point is, the Sankhya has been a completely accepted tenet, even in Upanishads, even in Vedanta, and even in Bhagavad Gita. So, and the Prakriti Purusha concept is also endorsed in Bhagavad Gita in 13.23. Yo evam vetti purusham prakritim cha gunai saha sarvatha vartamano api nasa bhuyo abhijayate. The concept of Purusham, concept of Prakriti, which are all typical Sankhya concepts, are completely accepted by Bhagavad Gita and of course the Upanishads and the Vedanta as well. So we had just come to this point that Ishvara Krishna Sankhya Karika has been considered as the original text and the text of Sankhya philosophy, and therein Ishvara Krishna himself is not said to be accepting, mentioning any principle like Ishvara. But this is undue criticality. This is biased mind of the Vedantins of later period than Badrayana himself. So, Adibhoutik, Adidaivik, Adhyatmik, Trivida Dukkhas have been accepted by Sankhya Karika of Ishvara Krishna. That means the concept of Adidaivik, Adhyatmik, Adibhoutik has been accepted, endorsed by even Ishvara Krishna's Sankhya Karika. The concept of Trivida Dukkhas is definitely embracing this marvelous concept which the wisdom of the Lord has given, called Adibhoutik, Adhyatmik, Adidaivik. So when these three are accepted, there is no point in labeling Sankhya of even Ishvara Krishna as atheistic. And this is one of the most primary, basic, fundamental concepts given by the wisdom of the Lord for these realities that we have, grosser to subtler, perceptible to imperceptible. The Bhagwad Gita, the 8th chapter, wonderfully delineates on this. What is Adhibhoutikam, what is Adidaivikam, what is Adhyatmikam, and then Bhagwad Gita has its own contribution, unique contribution, by bringing up the concept of Adhyagnya. And Lord Krishna says, I am the Adhyagnya. That means that is the Brahma Tattva, Antaryami Tattva, Antarniyanta, Antashasta, Antaryami. That is Adhyagnya. So anyway, Adhyatma, Adhyagnya, Adibhautika. These are such concepts that you can't just accept one and reject two, or reject two and accept one, or accept two and reject one. All the three must be accepted. There is no way that you can just accept one and not the others. This is how these concepts are interwoven, interdependent, and integral, as a matter of fact. The Bhautika Vada is Jadavada, materialism. But in the Vedic wisdom, the Bhautika Vada was not there, but Adhibhoutika concept was there. So there is big difference between Bhautika, which is really physical, and really materialistic and material. So the modern science is known for its physics. When we say it is science, the physics is so important aspect, which tries to divulge some realities up to some plane. But the wisdom of the Lord had concept of not only Bhautika, but Adhibhoutika. Not only concept of Daivi, godly, or divinely, or celestial, but Adidaivika. And not only Atma, but Adhyatma. Adhyatma is Adhyatmik. Adhibhoutik, Adidaivik, Adhyatmik. These are marvelous concepts which have come from time immemorial, time without beginning, and from Vedic wisdom. And these are embraced. And Patanjalas have taken the importance to acme, because Patanjali's system and Patanjali's practices, the sadhana, is completely Adhyatmika. When it is Adhyatmika, it endorses with Adibhoutik, Adidaivik as well. As I just now said, just one cannot be accepted, all the three must be accepted. So, if you look at the universe around you, we think it's all physical creation, and we say it is physical world. Like we have life in the form of plants and creatures and animals and worms and insects. And we have the creation in the form of the elemental and physical creation by way of rivers and mountains and valleys and whatnot, metals and all those materials, padartham. But the Adibhoutika aspect is definitely has a deeper insight than the insight of physics as a science, which is called Padartha Vijnanam. Padartha Vijnanam. Padartha means all the things. And the science about things is Padartha Vijnanam. So the Padarthas are gaseous, solid, liquid. So that's how we find the matter, either gaseous matter or solid matter or liquid matter. So that matter is Padartha. And the science which deals with these matters is called Bhautika Shastra. But the wisdom of the Lord embarked upon a concept called Adhibhoutika. And this is a great insight of Vedic sages and seers. For instance, I will tell you how it is different, Adibhoutik and Bhautik. See, our embodiment is said to be made up of elements. Now, when there is earth element in our body, the earth is not in the form of some pebbles and some stones and some sand and some metals. See, our embodiment chemically is said to be containing iron, and it is so vital for formation of body matter and then energies as well. So in pathology we know iron deficiency, symptomatically how it is. So we want iron in our blood. A deficiency of iron is sign of ill health. Our embodiment has so many aspects of physical matters. The body chemistry will tell you about what the body contains, what the blood contains. So we are taking the example of iron in the body. Now when there is iron in our body, it doesn't mean that there is some iron ore or some iron, say, in the form of nail or some kind of solid metal that we know as iron. Iron is not in that form. What is the form of iron in our body, which is so vital? So the form that it is in our body is the Adhibhoutik aspect. Our body contains 70% water, they say. That means it doesn't mean that there is 70% of water in the form of H2O, that if you feel thirsty, you can suck in the water and suck the water and consume the water. So how is the Tattva manifesting within the embodiment? Is this study of Adibhoutik Shastra. How the water as a matter is study of Bhautika Shastra. So Bhautik Shastra will tell you how the water is. The physical science will tell you how the water is, that it is H2O. And then it will characterize it, it will tell us about the function of it, the role of it, as to what it does, what for it is there, in what form it is there, what for it is there. That is the Bhautika Shastram. Adhibhoutika Shastram tells us about how the element of water is manifesting within us. It is manifesting not like you fill up a bottle with water, drinking water. It is not that way that the water is found. So you will find the element of water in the form of your bloods and the chemicals in the body, which is about 70% of the embodiment. Then there is said to be fire in the body. So Prithvi, up, and now Tej. When there is fire in the body, it doesn't mean that in some corner of the body there is a flame burning. The fire is not in that form that we know how the fire is in the physics and in the physical world and physical manifestation. Then what is the form of that fire which is within us? So we know the gastric fire. The body has temperature. Living body has temperature. Wherever, if you sit for some time, when you get up from there after some minutes and hours, your seat will have become warm and hot. That means the body has some temperature. So in what form the Agni is there? It is not in the form of flame, but in some form it is there. That's the sign of animate body. Animate body always has temperature, and the animate body has gastric fire to digest food. Vaishwanara Agni. So Bhagwad Gita says, Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashrita Pranapana Samayukta Pachamyannam Chaturvidam. I reside in the belly of all beings, which is called Vaishwanaragni, universal form of fire in all kinds of animate creation. That fire is there. Therefore, Vaishwanaragni. And I reside in the Praninam Deham Ashritaha. I reside in the body of all beings. And that is where? In the belly. Pranapana Samayuktaha. In human beings, with their Pranapana interaction, I digest the food of 4 kinds. So that's how the fire is in our body. It is not in the form of flame, it is not in the form of that brightness or effulgence and heat which we associate with the fire, which is Bhautika fire. So Bhautika Agni and Adhibhoutika Agni is different, like Bhautika Prithvi and Adhibhoutika Prithvi, Bhautika up and Adhibhoutika up, and now Bhautika Tej and Adhibhoutika Tej. There's the difference. That difference has to be read. Vayu. The Vayu too is within us. This is not the Vayu that is creating tempest and cyclones and hurricanes, etc. How is the Vayu? In what form, in what function, for what purpose it is there? So for what purpose the Vayu is outside us, there is one purpose. But why the Vayu is inside us, it's a different purpose. In what form the Vayu is in outside world around us, it's one form, but the form that it is within us, it's a different form. Why the air out there in the atmosphere outside us, the purpose of it is one, and the purpose of this Vayu within us is another. So the form, the purpose, the function, the manifestation which is within us is Adhibhoutika Vayu. And the Vayu which is out in the atmosphere and out in the world, in the form of breeze and hurricane and whatnot, tempest, etc., it's a different form, different purpose, different function. That is Bhautika Vayu, and there is something which is called a Adhibhoutika Vayu. It is Vayu because of which we are having the movements in our body and our own movements. It's a Vayu Tattvam which is giving movement in us. So it has a different purpose. It gives us activity. The Vayu gives activity to all living beings. That's the function of Vayu within us. So that's about Vayu. Then Akasha. Akasha Tattva outside is to contain all the celestial bodies, the stars, the planets, the nebulae, etc., etc., which is spoken of in astronomy and astrophysics. So the space that you see above your head is not kind of space that you have inside you. The purpose of the space that is above your head and the purpose of the space within you are not the same purposes. Nor the manifestation is the same, nor the function is same, nor the purpose is same, nothing is same, but yet the space is within us. Ether is within us, Akasha is within us. For what purpose and in what way? That is called Adibhoutik Akasha. So Bhautik Akash, Adhibhoutik Akash. Now this is a matter of study that one needs to carry out. Bhautika Prithvi, Adhibhoutika Prithvi. Bhautika up, Adhibhoutika up. Bhautika Tej, Adhibhoutika Tej. Bhautika Vayu, Adhibhoutika Vayu. Bhautika Akasha, Adhibhoutika Akasha. This difference need to be cited. So the form, manifestation, purpose are different between Adhibhoutik and Bhautik. And in the Western academics, we do not have Adhibhautika Shastra, we have Bhautika Shastra. We only study the Bhautikam and we do not study Adhibhautikam. Whereas the Oriental view is to consider Adhibhoutik as well. When you consider Adhibhoutik, you will not be able to comprehend it without knowing something about Adidaivika and something about Adhyatmika. So they are all interwoven, integral. The Adhibhoutik, Adidaivik, Adhyatmik concepts are interwoven. Let's take an interesting example of Adhibhoutika outside us. And this study has been a marvelous study of Ayurveda Shastra and Adhibhoutika Shastra as well. Now we know two things like onion, potato. These are the things that we eat. So you will have so many things outside you which we eat in our foods. There is something that is called chili, there is something that is called ginger, there is something called onion, there is something called potato, there is something called tomato. Now, Ayurveda says that ginger has Agni Tattva, and that's why excess of ginger consumed, the body heat goes up and you get all those symptoms of excess of heat in the body. While garlic is cooling, onion is cooling. Take more and more of onion, the body will cool down. Take more and more of ginger, the body will get heated up. Then chili is green in appearance. Coriander is also green in appearance. But the former is going to increase bile in the body, heat in the body, while the latter one is going to cool down the body and lessen the bile in the body. So otherwise, for appearance, both are green. There are some fruits which will increase the heat, some fruits which will increase the vata, or some vegetables which will increase the vata, such as potato, brinjal. Now you don't see that there is air filled in it, but when you eat it, it becomes more of the nature of gaseous food, that the gases increase in the body. But appearance,ly you do not see that this is gaseous. Or something is paitic, that means bile, stimulating bile, increasing bile. Something can be increasing phlegm, the kapha. So the vata, pitta, kapha classification of all these things that we eat, that is the Adhibhoutik study in it. Therefore, the ancient wisdom tells us that this fruit will increase the heat and this fruit will cool down your body. Now, the temperature of the both things are identical. You will not see the temperature of the two are different. But once they go in, then they work. So something will increase the fire in the body, or something will increase the bile in the body, or something will increase the fire in the body. And that is why some food are said to be paitik, that is increasing the pitta. Some are of the nature of kapha, increasing the phlegm, and some of the nature of vayu, which would increase the gases, such as potato and brinjal. Now, these are Adibhoutik studies. The two things might look alike, but Adibhoutik constitution gives them different functions. So what coriander does in your body and what chili does in body are two different things. What potato does in your body and what the onion does in your body, or what garlic does in your body and what the chili does in your body, are different things. The ancient wisdom had this knowledge. That is because of the Adhibhoutik aspect in those things. So when they relate to us, that elemental matter becomes different. And the body has different conditions with it. So even in the things outside, there is study of the Adhibhoutika, which are the physical chemistry introduces us to those aspects. Say, aerated water, carbonated water is water. On the other hand, there will be another bottle containing hydrochloric acid. Both are liquids. But then how do they work? One will burn and other one will cool you. So the chemical properties which the chemistry considers is something has been considered with a greater depth. Now if there is deficiency of iron in the body, you do not try to consume a nail or something made up of iron matter. But iron has to go in particular form. The iron with the body is of particular form that you don't find anywhere the iron material in the body, but yet iron is there in the body. So that's the Adhibhoutika Vichara, which is different than Bhautika Vichara. Similarly, there is Adidaivik aspect, celestial forces. There is nothing that can be called as terrestrial and celestial actually. Although we have this classification in the view of modern sciences, we say something is terrestrial, that is here, and then something else is celestial. But it is all very relative. See, what is on the planet, our planet, we say it is terrestrial thing. But you yourself, you are celestial entity if you go on another planet. If you are Mercury or Venus or Mars or Jupiter, Earth itself is a celestial body. What you consider as terrestrial becomes celestial outside the Earth. That is one thing. The other thing, what is terrestrial on the planet? If you look at the origin of planet, our Earth, what is the origin of planet? So some billions of years ago, 4.5 billion years ago, something happened in cosmos, and the sun that we call today, some 0.00005% of it became the solar system. That means our origin is whatever is the origin of the sun, which is celestial body. And all the manifestation on the earth is all solar energy manifestation. Maybe solid, liquid or gaseous matter, whatever kind of matter, it is all solar energy transformation. And what is terrestrial here? The earth itself is not, there is nothing like terrestrial at all. When the sun was formed, earth was formed. By whatever phenomenon the sun was formed, by same phenomenon earth was formed, and an entire solar system was formed. So that means materially we are celestial. There is nothing like celestial, as a matter of fact. And of course there is nothing like terrestrial at all. It is for our convenience that we have classified something as terrestrial and something as extraterrestrial. We ourselves are totally extraterrestrial, since there is nothing like terrestrial. What is terrestrial? You pick up one particle and tell me that this is terrestrial particle. It will be disproved that it's a terrestrial particle. There is nothing terrestrial at all. It's all celestial. Everything is celestial. Everything has touch of some divine forms and divine energies. So the whole universe is completely celestial. So, identifying the celestial aspect in anything that you find on the planet is Adidaivik Shastra. Anything that you identify within yourself, which is celestial materially, originally, identifying that is Adidaivika Shastra. So, in our embodiment, we have indriyas, the very concept, very nomenclature, very idea of senses, that it is celestial. Indriya, Indra, the king of all gods. Indriya, of Indra, that is Indriya. So our embodiment is full of indriyas. Gyanendriya, Karmendriya, Pachanendriya, Shvasanendriya, Abhisaranendriya. We are all full of indriyas. That means it is all of Indra. Now Indra is celestial. So the perspective that we are all completely composed of celestial aspects, energies, forms, that is the Adidaivika Shastra. So we have Adhibhoutik aspects, as we just now had very basic idea. Now we also understand we have Adidaivik aspects within us. Then coming to Adhyatma. Adhyatma, the Atma within us. The Atma is a marvel which Bhagwad Gita tells us. Ascharyavat pashyati enam, ascharyavat shrunoti. So it is really a marvel that it is birthless, deathless, immutable, eternal, anadi, sanatana, purana. Is it not a marvel that it is ageless? Then it is stateless, it is conditionless. No conditions are there on it, no indentations are there, no delimitations are there. Is that not a marvel? So we have something, and all that things around us have something of the nature of that. At the center of every manifestation, it is Adhyatma. And that is why Adhyatma is said to be substratum. Everything around it is phenomenal, and empirical, and gross, perceptible, etc. The core of every particle, everything, without exception, everything, whatever is at the core of it is called the Atma. So we also have an Atma, everything has an Atma. And that is of metaphysical status and totally undifferentiated, undifferentiable. Wherever the Atma is identical. The Atma of you and me, Atma of tiny insect, worm, mosquito, fly, Atma is identical. The Atma doesn't change between fly and elephant, or fly and human being, or human being and dinosaurs. So anything from bacteria to dinosaur, the Atma is something which is identical. It doesn't change. It is absolutely similar, without any dissimilarity, absolutely. So that is how the Atma principle is. So therefore, Adhyatma is the dharana, the basic underlying factor in our thought process, in our philosophies. So that is the substrate, Adhyatmik dharana, then constituted by all Daivi powers, celestial powers. What is not celestial on the planet? Everything in anything, there is a celestial thing in it, glorious thing in it. That is Adidaivika. And then Adhibhoutika is manifestation. Therefore, if you recall, in the last session I told you, Adhyatmik dharana, Adidaivik sangatana, and Adhibhoutik avishkar. Avishkar means manifestation. So, the Adidaivam is accepted, Adhyatmam is accepted, the Antaryami is accepted, the same Sarva Antaryami is accepted. My Antaryami and your Antaryami and Antaryami of ant and fly and mosquito and elephant and dinosaur or Indra, Varuna, Agni, Devatas, it is all same. One and the same Antaryami. So Sankhya definitely admits this, that there is Adhyatmik aspect, Adhyagnya aspect. Now how can one say that it is atheistic? The Vedic thought process doesn't encourage anything or anyone to be atheistic. There is no basis to be atheistic. If somebody is atheist, it is lack of inquiry into creation. It is lack of knowledge about creation. It is dearth of wisdom. It is dearth of knowledge. It is dearth of inquiry about all this around, which is really expanding to infinitude. The one who objectifies this infinite universe and tries to have some inquiry about it, you can't be atheistic. You will have to believe in that supreme energy, the form, the supreme self, which is really managing all this. So, no way the Sankhyas could be atheistic philosophers. And as I said, atheism is there, no doubt about it. It cannot be rejected. But if the atheism is there, if somebody is an atheist, it is just because there is lack of sense of inquiry about the marvel that is around us. If you really marvel this marvel around us, you cannot be not believing in that entity which is supreme, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. So the Sankhyas who are embracing Adibhoutik, Adidaivik, Adhyatmik aspects, they cannot be dubbed as atheistic, Nirishwarvadi. There is nothing like Nirishwara Sankhya. Others have put this label. They themselves are not really advocates of Nirishwarvada. So there is no point in discriminating or differentiating between Seshwara Sankhya and Nirishwara Sankhya. Sankhya is Sankhya. As a matter of fact, Sankhya is the wisdom that has come from the Almighty in the form of Kapila Mahamuni, Kapila and who, as I said in the last session, appears in all cycles, at the beginning of all cycles, and gives this wisdom package. So therefore, the Sankhya, which has been dubbed as Nirishwarvadi, atheistic, etc., really doesn't stand any reason. It is because of this Adhibhoutik, Adidaivik, Adhyatmik concepts which are prevalent in all the philosophical systems, be that Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga, Mimamsa and Vedanta. So, even Bhagwad Gita, he says the Sankhya and Yoga tenets or the Vidyas were given by Almighty in Sri Vaikuntham. The Sankhya also has come from the same Sriman Narayana, Paravasudeva. And therefore the Bhagavad Gita is said to be having a chapter called Sankhya Yoga. So Sankhya is not antagonizing what Bhagavad Gita is saying. It's an integral part of Bhagavad Gita, the Sankhyam. So that's how we have covered the topic that we had chosen for today. So the point is, one should try to delineate, penetrate, understand, comprehend this marvelous concept of Adhibhoutika, Adidaivika, Adhyatmika. And Bhagavad Gita in the 8th chapter has initiated this inquiry. What is Adhibhoutikam? What is Adidaivikam? What is Adhyatmikam? So a keen student is expected to go back to 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and understand in brief through the verses as to what are these. And then one will discover there is unfathomable depth to all these concepts. And the Vaidika Dharma, Vaidika Samskriti will tell us more about all that. What is Adhibhoutik? What is the depth of it? Adidaivika, what is the depth of it? Adhyatmika, what is the depth of it? And no Indian thought, classical thought, has divorced from these concepts and cannot be divorcing. In that case, it would cease to be Vedic thought process, Sanatana thought process. So with that, we had brief introduction to Adhibhoutik, Adidaivik, Adhyatmik concepts, which the Sankhyas too have embraced, Patanjalas too have taken it to heart as a matter of fact. Because yoga sadhana is Adhyatmik sadhana, and therefore there are Adidaivik aspects and Adibhoutik aspects, because they are all very integral. So with that, we'll be ending the session for today. Namaskar all of you.